All right, guys, welcome back to Basics, where I'm teaching my beautiful wife, Jessica, how to trade. We are only 2 episodes left of this kind of lecture format until we start actually just trading together. So again, if you're just showing up now,
Where you been?
where you been? What do you give us likes and things over here because you've been late? There's a playlist on both channels. I really suggest starting at the beginning because we went over everything. This is like episode 40 or something. So there's a lot of content. It's all free. Go take it, learn everything you need while we finish up with building your trading plan. So this is the wrap up that I just have for the next couple, showing that we are talking about how important risk management was and how important trading plans were, knowing that half of all of our trading plan, all our trades are going to lose. And then this is the equity curve we're looking for, if we can get it. So what's the importance of a trading plan? So I put a deer in the headlights here. Look, because there will be moments in everyone's trading career where everything falls apart. And you have to have a plan to fall back on, or you're going to be screwed, right? There's an old military saying that no one gets smarter when you're getting shot at. So you have to have a plan before and then carry it out during. So we've talked about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, statistical analysis, risk management, psychology, everything you can think of. The plan and the trading plan is just to combine all these together. So there's going to be these 2 lectures on building a trading plan, and then we're going to break, and then next time we record, we're actually going to sit down with a Google Doc and we're going to build your trading plan from the ground up. So you will always have a document to go to and say, this is what I do. Most traders don't have this. Everybody just wants to, I think Tesla's a good company and it's going up, so I'm going to buy it, right? And the difference between traders that win and traders that lose are 2 things. Do you have a plan and do you follow it? That's all there is to it. It's like a diet, right? Do you have a plan of what you can and cannot eat and what exercise you should be doing? That's great. Now, do you actually do those things, right? If without those 2 things together, nothing happens. Where to start? The question is always, what style of trading are you interested in? These are all going to be hypotheticals. You don't need to answer any of these now, but just know this is what we're going to. Are you going to be a trend trader or a counter trend trader, right? Does that basically means, you're going to buy stocks that are already moving up, or are you going to try to pick the bottoms of stocks when they're tanking? Right? Are you going to try to short at the top when they're going up, or are you going to short stocks that are already weak? That's the first big question to ask, because the risk reward profile of both and the probability of profit of both are wildly different. We went over this, but trend following, which is always what I recommend, has a lower probability of success, but when you're right, you make way more money than the other way. When to enter, right? And all we're saying here is I will enter on this. So you're looking for, what technical patterns you're going to trade. We're going to find 2 that you like the best. We're going to stick to those. And then your trading plan is going to say, I will enter when X occurs. A close outside of the pattern, a break of the bar before it, a volume spike, whatever you consider, whatever you want it to be. That should be the first thing in your trading plan. And again, you're going to have my help building your plan, but they're not. So this is why we're going over a lot of it. But that's step 1. What is the catalyst that has to occur for you to enter a position? Next is what to risk, right? We talked about R multiple trading in the last one. And you understand that now. There's other things that you can do. There's a constant risk per trade, just saying I'm going to risk 1% of my account. That's great for people who aren't doing R multiple, which we are. That's great for people who are withdrawing, right? They're not constantly trying to grow the account. We're in a stage where we're trying to grow. We did a whole lecture. So again, if you're just watching this video, go to the video right before this, because that will be on R multiple trading, which is great for people who are growing accounts, which is what we're going to do, especially with Jess. She works somewhere else, which I think this is why it's a great example for how to trade while working. And this is what you're going to be doing, is growing, hopefully, up this account. With our multiple trading, again, that's all explained in the last one. and then when to exit. This, I think, personally, is the hardest part of trading, is when to exit a winning position. Exiting, and I should have specified that. Exiting a losing position is easy, right?
Yeah.
You bought the stock, you put the stop loss, it hits your stop.
Yeah.
You're out. The question, and again, the question I'm still trying to answer, and the question I think every trader is trying to answer, is when do I take my profits? You never nail the top, so how close can you get to the top of the stock? When is it worth holding? These are all rules that you need. So we know like some basic ones, which is you should always be targeting more than whatever your risk was, right? Your risk is always going to be 1R, which again, guys, last lesson, if you don't get that, you should always be targeting 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 R's, right? It should always be a bigger number of R's than your loss. A trailing stop versus a hard exit versus a time stop. A trailing stop is basically, you can put it in the system and say, I'm going to buy the stock at $10. I'm going to put a stop at $9. Every time the stock goes up, I want you to raise the stop up behind it. And when the stock goes down, I want you to leave the stop the same. Mm-hmm. It's an automated way that you can just put it in the system and just leave. And if the thing runs for a month, then you're in it for a month. And if it runs for a little bit and pulls back, then you're out. It's one way to do it. The downside to it is you're never getting your price. You're always getting the price as it comes back down. A hard exit is basically just saying, I'm in at 10, my stop loss is 9, so I know I'm risking $1 per share. Let me just put out an order at $2 a share, above it at $12. If it gets there, great. I've made twice as much as I've risked. That's fantastic. That's another good kind of hands-off type of way, because it's either going to stop you out or it's going to hit your profit target. You're done the moment you send the entry order. And then the last is a time stop, which is just basically saying, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to hold it for a week, and I'm going to sell it. And I do that a lot, where it takes a lot of this how long to hold and when to exit out of the equation. What I do is I optimize. I know my best hold time is like a week or so. So I'll buy it and I'll hold the stocks for a week, and then I'll sell them and then reevaluate whether or not it's something I want to buy. The benefit of this, again, guys, last video, our multiple trading, is the more times, the quicker you're in and out and you reevaluate your account size, the more you get out of that, the compounding. So think about it. If you compounded that return, back to the example of you have $100, at the end of the year, they're going to give you $200, and you're going to compound that the next year. That's once a year. If you do it once a month, then you've compounded 12 times by the end of the year, right? So you've got $100 at the end of the month, you get $200. Mm-hmm. At the end of the month, you get $4. By that end of that year, you'll have a couple grand. If you did it weekly, it's even more extreme. The concept of multiple compounding, again, it's just the quicker you can do it and get into the next trade, the quicker you'll be without being a day trader, because you have a job, right? So you might want to look for a couple days to a week type time horizon, take your money, move on. That'd be a time stop. So those are your 3 options. Again, think about them. Next week we will start building your trading plan. So that is episode 1 of the trading plan lecture. We're going to go into 2 next time, and then we're actually either going to do a live stream or a recording where we sit down and build it from the ground up. Talk to you guys later.